Well, hello everybody. I thought we'd talk a little bit about something really wonderful that Itzhak Perlman had said. Someone asked him, "What is the secret to practicing? What is the best way to practice?" And he said, "I got two words for you." And I bet everybody who works with me knows what they are. He said, "Practice slowly." If you practice slowly, you forget slowly. If you practice something fast, you forget fast. I love that, and I've been talking to my students a lot about that, and I think that everyone's sounding a lot better as a result. We have a discussion that we started last week that we're going to continue today midway through our class. There was a few students last week were interested in just hearing from other people about why they became musicians. Why did they want to start taking lessons? How long are we going to take? How long are we going to study music? If we signed up on this for life, or is this just during the pandemic? And I'm curious about a couple things too. Do you ever have those days when you don't want to practice? I certainly do. If so, how do you get yourself in the room to do it? How do you get yourself actually with your instrument and practicing? So later we'll unmute and have that discussion. And like I said before, if someone is performing, mute yourselves. If not, when you hear the performance coming to the end, go ahead and unmute yourself so that you can pipe in with comments if you like. So today we're going to start. We have some Bach today with Jared. We have Kuchler with Kara. We have Aditya singing a Bartok song. Then we'll do the discussion followed by the Chopin Mazurka. So let's start with Jared. You have the Invention number 8, right?
That is correct.
Great. Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Great. Thank you, Jared. That was very beautiful, clean playing. I'm wondering a little bit about the tempo.
A little fast.
I think so. I think maybe a little bit fast.
So I
Are
was
you on
playing
your
it
grand? Are
slow.
you on
I was playing
what?
it, but then I noticed that it says here vivace, and I didn't know what that. That sounds pretty fast to me.
It can sound vivace without being really high on the metronome. It's just a little bit. It's not a whole lot slower, but just a little bit.
Okay.
Just so six, one, two, three, four, six before the end. It's piano. Four before the end. Let at that point start to crescendo and really drive that descending passage down. And really bring the volume up there.
Got it.
And if you have to slow down a little bit, that's okay. Let's try it that way. And then also I'd like to try it without a retard. Just go ahead and push it, and then a slight break, and then the last chord, just like you did when you did it the first time.
Okay. So no retard at the end.
First,
Heading
let's do it. Let's do it twice. One with a bit of a retard, so we can hear the crescendo a little bit more. and then the other time without. Let's see how it responds on your piano.
Okay. You want
Mm-hmm.
me to do from just that spot, or you want me to start earlier?
Yeah, let's start at 6 before, and where it's at a piano.
That's
You've
the one
got an E
that's
natural in the right hand and a G in the left hand. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, good, good. Let's make sure that the right hand eighth notes at the end are very short, even shorter.
got it.
It sounded a little bit blurry.
Yeah.
I'll try it again. Try it again. Yeah, I love it until we get to those eighth notes.
Yeah.
I like them more pointed, you know? I would like to hear them, pointed. They're sounding kind of legato there. You try it again?
Yep.
All right, good, good, very nice. Well, I love what you're doing on this. I think you did a great job. Where do you see the higher points in this piece in terms of where the peaks are, where the louder parts are?
Um,
Do you have any dynamics that you've chosen for this, or that you have in your edition?
this thing is way dynamic up and lots of crescendos and I'm not sure that I really paid too much attention. I think for me, the peak of the piece, I don't have measure numbers, but it's on the second page. It's after this. Well,
I think what that part is, that's where you start moving to the end.
yeah.
I think that's when it starts to unwind there, at that measure that you just played. Da da G F G B flat. That one.
Yep.
Yeah. Can we just do it? Let's do it one more time today. And can you take it just a little slower? Bum 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 da. Wait a minute. Dun, 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 dun. I think that might still sound vivace.
Okay.
Let's try just a few measures of it, see how it is on your piano. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think that would be the slowest on your piano.
Okay, so no slower than that.
Right.
Got it.
Bravo. Bravo. And Jared, I love what you've been doing with your descending lines in the left hand, bringing out those notes. I thought it was just great.
Thank you.
Yes. You don't have bar numbers, so I think Connor does. So I'll tell them where those are. Well, I can tell them right now. 21, 22, 23, B flat, A, G. When we have those little descending lines, and Jared, you brought them out so well. It was really beautiful play, nice and clean, very Baroque sounding. All right, good. Let's go next to Kara playing the Kuchler. This is a new piece for Cara, and we just added the going into positions, second and third position a couple of weeks ago. Open A strings. Let me hear what it sounds like at that distance. Better. Okay, good. Now let's start from the beginning. That's better. Let's start from the beginning. That would be great. I'm going to mute myself now. All right, good. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So there's just a couple little parts. It's very beautiful, Cara. I can tell you love playing this. And that's always wonderful, a great thing to hear when somebody plays a piece that they love. There were there was something we had talked about the other day that I want to bring out again, that I was hoping would happen a little bit more today, but maybe it's a couple of days not enough time to work on it. But there's a couple of parts, Carolyn, if you want to put them in her part, she got
Mm-hmm.
she got stuck a little bit. At measure 11, 12, 13, and 14, that passage, and also at 53, 54 on the detache arpeggios, she wound up in a really difficult part of the bow.
Okay.
It's a really hard part of the bow to play that. She's down here in this part of the bow and a lot of string crossing. I think it's easier to do it out here. Something like that would be a
Okay.
lot better. And, right. So there's basically pretty good usage of the bow. And I'm not sure if it was the Zoom quality today, because we do our lessons on a different platform. But I was really kind of hoping for these notes to be brought out more. Then a little more weight. And then more vigorous there. I'd like to do just one part again, and let's do it at the beginning to bring out that part.
All right.
Yeah, so we'll just do, can we just do well, let's just go ahead and go right up till 16. And Cara, don't go in the lower half on those 16th notes when you have that long scale.
Okay. So
Yeah,
look, you have the scale of this string wants you to not go in the lower half of your bow. Try to go in the upper half. And then look here. Try to make those notes a little more vigorous. Okay? Here, here, here. Okay? All right. Just that top part.
very good. Look at you go. Look at you go. All right, thank you. Beautiful work, beautiful work. I was thinking of playing a fiddle song. Why don't we do that before it's called Fairy Dance. And this is a traditional fiddle song. It's called Fairy Dance. And it's one of my favorites. Thank you. So now let's unmute ourselves and let's do our discussion about why we're taking lessons or why we play music in our lives. Um, and if we're taking lessons, how do we handle it on those days when we know a lesson's coming up, but we have to practice? I know I've always had a struggle to practice my whole life. Um, for me, as some of my students know, my mother had to threaten me every day to get me to practice. Um, it wasn't a threat of violence or anything like that. It was basically, we're not going to take you into Chicago for your lessons, and um, we're not going to pay for these lessons if you don't practice what your teacher wants you to do. My teacher said practice 3 hours a day in a combination. So no more, no less than 3 hours a day. So whether I liked the lessons or not, I really did love the music, and I knew that I wasn't going to get more pieces unless I kept unless I kept going to lessons. So that's kind of what did it for me. But last class we weighed in with Jared and Naomi. So I'd just like to open this up to other people that are here today and see what if they have anything to share about this. How about Aditya? Aditya is a
Yeah.
new student. Aditya is a new student. If you want to come close to the camera so we can see you. Aditya is a new student. He does singing. And Aditya, let's unmute yourself. Let's everybody unmute yourself.
Let it go. You can. People can hear you.
What?
Yes. So yeah, I just love to hear from you. Why did you get interested in singing and taking lessons? And how do you get yourself to practice? Like if you wake up one day and you don't feel like doing it, how do you get yourself to do
I
it?
don't honest. Well, basically, sometimes my dad has to remind me to do singing, but sometimes I just like to sing, like just like to hum sometimes. Like I
Just like to
just
do it.
sing, I sing, and then it comes to my head that I should do singing.
Nice. Nice. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah, and I also do piano.
Aha. Do you practice piano every day too?
Yeah, I do piano for fun.
Very nice. Very nice. All right. That's beautiful. Beautiful. What about Addie? Do you have any thoughts on this?
I'm not entirely sure why I started. Um, I think I started on violin. I think I just thought it was cool. And I was already doing piano. Um, and then I switched to viola because I liked playing the lower notes, and mom suggested that I do that, and then it just like clicked really well. I don't really know. I think it's partially out of kind of at this point uh partially obligation to because for lessons, if I don't feel like playing, well, when I'm at school, I'm kind of, since I took it as an afternoon activity, I was kind of required to practice. So but when I'm at home, if I don't feel like practicing often, I will just not and then make it up later, or like panic the day before and practice for like 3 hours. um but I'm mainly playing because I really love playing in ensembles, and there's kind of a thrill from that I just kind of look forward to.
Beautiful. Thank you. This piece that I played earlier, it's called Fairy Dance. It comes out of the group called Barrage, and they're a Canadian fiddle group. And I know that they dance, they sing, they all over the stage. They do these amazing performances, and you can find them on barrage.org, Barrage. And when they first started touring in this country, I had a lot of students that stayed very motivated by watching them perform. So
Did you hear that? We should go check it out.
I would encourage you to check that out. That would be great. Are there any more comments out there? What about Cara or Connor? Connor, why are you doing music?
Well, I guess it all sort of started back when Cara was starting violin. And I wasn't getting any attention, and so I decided I wanted some. So I signed, and then then I was getting my attention. And ever since, Mom hasn't let me stop. So here I am. I'm still playing.
Now you're stuck, huh?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you're stuck because it's such a pleasure working with you, Connor, and I'm excited to hear the student recital. The link just went out today, and I'm very excited to hear it again. What you played. And what about when you get up in the morning, Connor, and you don't feel like practicing?
Well, that usually is because that, like, if I can practice by myself before my mom gets home, it's a little bit better because that, I don't know, like, I can do it myself. It's like best to do it earlier so that I don't have to, like, make it worse for myself later on.
Oh, so it's worse for you later on if you do it when your mom's home?
Yeah, because I have to work harder. Extra stuff.
Well, your mom knows her stuff, doesn't she? Great, thank you for piping in. Thank you for piping in. All right, so next we have Aditya.
Okay.
And Aditya, would you like to tell us a little bit about the song you're singing?
Yeah, so dialogue is basically it's two different characters and two different emotions. It's basically, so in the first part, the nice guy comes. He wants to ask someone if he could borrow someone's rake, but then the other person is mean and he just says, "No sir, go sir, don't you know this rake is mine?"
So
And
rake,
then,
are we talking about a garden rake?
no, like a rake which you use to sweep leaves.
Right, exactly, good.
And he keeps the nice guy keeps making bargains of saying, like, "I would trade you apples from my tree," but the mean guy still doesn't let him share his rake, and that's basically what it's about.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I can't wait to hear you do it. This is Aditya's debut performance. He hasn't performed before.
I'm going to start,
Yeah.
okay?
Yay. So let's hear
Ready?
you do it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Would you let me share your rake so fine? No, sir, go, sir, don't you know this rake is mine? I would trade you apples from my tree. Never, my fine rake is just for me.
Good.
All right.
Wait, did I have to smile some more for the nice guy?
Sorry?
Did I have to smile some more for the nice guy?
I was thinking so, yes.
Oh, and look mean for the mean guy, right?
A little bit more. A little bit more.
Okay.
Let's try it again and come just a little bit closer so we can see your face better.
Would you let me share your rake so fine? No, sir, go,
Yay! Good job. Good
Thank
job. Very nice. Hey, thank you. It's nice to have 2 tries, isn't it?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. All right. Fantastic.
Then one try is technically the mistake is still there. 2 tries the mistake is gone.
Which mistake?
Like the nice guy mistake. Because I made the mistake of like acting like the mean guy on the nice guy and the nice guy on the mean.
Yep, you flipped them around. I'm glad you fixed it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Should I have looked a little bit less nice because it was too nice?
You
looked too
know
nice,
what?
right?
You can have a chance to play this back and watch yourself. Pretend like
Okay.
you're in the audience and watch yourself and say, when I see this person singing, how am I feeling? Who's talking to me? What do they want? What are they
Okay.
trying to get with this? Why are they singing about it?
Got it.
And why should I listen?
I got what you're saying.
Great. All right, fantastic. Thank you so much. And next,
You're welcome.
you're welcome. Yeah, next we're going to go to, we have the Chopin Mazurka with Jared.
This is the perfect, I know it's your morning, but it's our evening. It's 8 o'clock almost, so it's the perfect evening piece, I feel.
You know, if you play this really slowly and add a bunch of scales, it could pass for a nocturne.
Yeah, exactly. You ready?
I am. Do you want to talk a little bit about what your goals are with this? We've not done this before. You performed before.
My goals are to hit as many of the notes as I can.
Oh, come on.
You know, I think in this one, well, it has a bit of a singing melody. So, I mean, there's some very beautiful, it's not a huge, long, complicated phrase, but it needs to stand out. And then there's some very light and legato, in the B section, there's some contrast. So I'm trying to bring out the contrast. Um, yeah, and just
Okay.
make it cohesive.
All right, good. Let's do a run through. Let's have everybody mute themselves while he's playing. All right, great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Jared, I love what you're doing in most of this. There were a few parts that it kind of put the whole brakes on for me. Let me point out a few things. I'll do them at the piano. Um, for example, um, on the second page in the B section, I was wondering why you did something like this. You were bringing the triplet out. I'm just trying to figure out what that was about. I have a diminuendo in mind, so I do it more like this. And then I start my pianissimo here. And then so this is very, very legato there. So the top note's connecting, which you pretty much did. The left hand, be careful not to do this. And try to make them really, really connected. I'm going to just play through it a bit and to give you a demonstration of some of these pieces that we're talking about. Also in the A section, another part. That's the end of the phrase. Then we do. Okay?
I have a connection. I have a legato for those 4/8 notes. Is that wrong?
You know, that's questionable. I have it too. Like, how are you supposed to connect it? I mean, I can stretch my hand that far, but not everybody. I see this, when I put this all together, I can do it legato so that it does sound connected, but it doesn't necessarily, to me, mean it's part of the phrase. See, I'm still connecting. The way I hear it in my head is 3 triplets. Actually 4 groups of 3 in the phrase. So I'm just throwing out some ideas.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing out a few ideas. I love what you did at the end of the second line after we have. I love the tenuto that you put in there. I thought that was great. So I'll just play through it. I'll give you my interpretation of it, and perhaps maybe you can see what you like, what you don't like, and then try, mark up your part, and then have you play it again. How about that?
Perfect.
Okay, cool. Thank you. So maybe there's some things in there you'd like to try.
Yeah.
It's kind of in some parts, it's you and I have the exactly opposite view, like those triplets, you know?
Well, I was
Um,
just playing. I think I was just playing them wrong. I would like to say it was interpretation, but I just read it wrong.
oh, okay. Do you want to try it a different way and see how it feels?
Yeah, let me try. Let me. I can try and run through it again.
Okay, let's do that.
Do
And
I
then
just
we'll wrap up the class.
from the top or just the B section?
Oh, let's go through the whole thing.
All right. Here we go.
I'd love to hear, put the whole thing together.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As you were playing, I was thinking a little bit about rubato and when we steal some time and then we make up the time. What parts are we going to be speeding up? What parts sometimes to emphasize something that we think is really beautiful, I prefer to slow that part down rather than speeding into it. I'm going to do I know we said we were going to finish. I'm going to do one little quick demo of that. Let's see. I love it that's one of the parts I like. That chord to me it just means the world to me. And so forth. Sometimes I listen back to it, Jared, but sometimes I wondered if the parts you were going faster were the parts you were wanting to bring out.
It's possible.
Yeah, have a listen and see what you think. Um, the parts where I slow it down a little bit, those are the parts where when when I worked on this, when I work on anything, I practice slowly. Um, But I listen, where's the beautiful part? What part in here really is gorgeous? And then I work with that. And usually that's going to be something I would want to slightly slow down, or if it's not the type of, if it's Baroque or classical, we can't slow down for everything, then how am I going to set that up? How am I going to move my fingers, whether it's violin or piano, but how am I going to move them so that it brings it out, so it brings out the beauty and gives the type of tone that I want to have and communicate for that. All right.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Judy's back.
Sorry about that. I've been basically listening, but I couldn't turn it on because we have all kinds of saws going outside and stuff.
Sure, sure. All right. So thank you everybody for coming. It's a joy to see you all. We have one more class in 2 weeks. And we already have our performers. Addie's coming in with meditation, and Jared, perhaps the Brahms, perhaps the Bach that you started this week. And we'll be putting together, a nice class in 2 weeks from now. Thank you all.
Thank you.